Welcome to this University Place Television special presentation on the Beckonridge Drive Street Improvement Project. I'm right down the street from Sunset Primary School. In this program, you'll see how a Safe Routes to School grant has improved this neighborhood and made it safer for kids to walk to school.
Okay, come on.
When Ann Bunnell first started working as a crossing guard at Sunset Primary School, protecting kids from traffic was no easy task.
And there was nothing, no lights, no nothing, no crosswalks or anything like that.
She remembers how kids would walk in the road on their way to school along busy Beckonridge Drive.
Then it was not safe at all.
Sunset Primary is tucked inside the Beckonridge neighborhood. Many families are walking distance to school, but with limited lighting and no sidewalks, walking safely was nearly impossible.
It was dull. You were in the street.
We were always worried for the kids because if somebody would go too fast, you just didn't know what was going to happen.
With no lighting in some areas, it could be especially dangerous in the evening.
At nighttime, it was pitch black here. So you had high speeds, low visibility, kind of bad combinations.
Kids who wanted to bike had no designated space and would often wander into the road.
Other than headlights, you couldn't see anything. So if they were dressed in dark clothing, you feared for your life.
Making Beckonridge Drive and the area around Sunset Primary a safe place to walk and bike was on the city's transportation improvement plan. The challenge was finding nearly $1 million to pay for it. So the city applied for a Safe Routes to School grant. These
Projects that are right connected to the schools and directly in our neighborhood have some of the biggest impacts to the neighborhood. And without programs like the Safe Routes to School, we wouldn't have the funding for those kind of projects.
The city was awarded an $830,000 Safe Routes to School grant.
This is an example of how through our state and federal partners we're able to secure almost $1 million in grant funds to build this half-mile of sidewalk, this needed link.
With the grant in place and approximately $70,000 of surface water management funds committed, the Beckonridge Drive Safe Routes to School project was off and running. A half mile of sidewalks were poured between Grandview and Cirque Drive. Curbs and gutters were formed, and neighbors were getting excited.
Now we're getting sidewalks. Fabulous.
Beckonridge is a unique neighborhood with lots of trees and character. The city worked with residents and hired a landscape architect to be sure the improvements preserve the neighborhood's look and feel.
What the result is a really kind of special street that's really unique throughout the city.
In addition to the sidewalks and bike lanes, a 5-foot wide planter strip was installed and trees were planted.
They're just really new and nice.
The trees help add a buffer zone for pedestrians, but also slow down traffic.
We found in our road project, street trees alone, typically about a 5-mile-an-hour average vehicle speed reduction.
The Beckonridge project is the first to have LED lighting, which is affordable and energy efficient.
Energy costs are less than half of what a traditional street light is. Maintenance costs, where you may have to change out a regular bulb a couple times a year, these should be good for several years per bulb.
The 16-foot high lights were installed along the west side of the street.
We have lights now, so that's making it so much better.
Carefully walk across the street, thank you.
Flashing crosswalks were put in to make a designated, safer, and more visible crossing for the kids.
They see that crosswalk sign up there, so they slow down when they get to this crosswalk, and then us being there helps them a little bit more.
Another important step for a safe route to school: speed radar signs, which remind drivers to slow down.
Okay, let's go. The safety of the sidewalks, and I think the fact that it's neighborhood friendly and that kind of thing.
The improvements have more people traveling by foot and by bike.
It's really increased the amount of students who are able to walk and ride their bikes to school. It's been safer for them.
My favorite thing is in the morning, I'll see a dad and his son riding their bikes to school. And that's fun, because I never got to do that.
The kids have seen things change too.
I noticed that more people are biking and walking on the sidewalks. It looks great. I love all the trees and the sidewalks, and we love to ride our bikes around here too.
The Beckonridge Drive Safe Routes to School project connects with over 3 miles of sidewalks on Grandview Drive.
And now you have a complete circular loop around this neighborhood which connects back to Grandview that people can use 12 months out of the year, 24 hours a day. It's lighted with street lights, it's safe, and we encourage people to come out here and use this.
See you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.
For Ann Bonnell, whose job for the past 25 years has been protecting kids from traffic, it doesn't get much better than this.
Having all these sidewalks now is really a great thing.
Heather Radall, University Place Television.